Just waiting for everything to show up. All right, I see us. So we are good to go. Welcome to the Making Awesome podcast, chapter 42, Hitchhiker's Guide edition, which means we're going to make random Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy references throughout the entire episode because it is 42, the answer to the life, universe, and all the other such things. Ow. Ma'am, I am joined by the ever-effervescent Victoria, who just wants to keep stabbing my arm with her hypodermic needle. Ow. Thank you.
Victoria attack.
She's like...
I am currently being attacked right now. Look, if I put my arm here... Okay.
She's like, you're just so conveniently within reach.
Instantly comes to bite me. Hey, whatever. I have disturbed the queen from her slumber, and therefore I must pay the premium. So instead, we will stop it. No. Anyways, how's everybody doing today? We're just waiting for people to come into the live streams, but hey, while we're doing that, gents, introduce. Oh, and now the cat's gonna go across. Yay!
Hey,
gents, go ahead and introduce yourselves. We got Tad, we got Justin here, guys. Tell them, the 10-second intro stuff.
All right, lead engineer for 3D Musketeers, Tad. Hello. Haven't been on in a while. It's been busy in my neck of the woods.
It has been a minute for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Justin?
I'm Justin. I do CAD, everything under the sun at 3D
Definitely
Musketeers.
do.
Yeah, and just hanging out on the podcast almost every week now, so it's been fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope you do too, but I don't know. I enjoy. Hey, it's the easiest money everybody makes is coming on the podcast and hanging out, right?
This is true.
Yeah. For those that don't know, this is so the staff members are here and everybody's time is valuable, so we make sure that everyone is compensated accordingly. So
Grant pays people to talk to him.
I don't think Grant needs to pay us to talk to him. He's quite personable.
No, I pay others to assist in making this content because ultimately I can't ask people to volunteer their time, right? That's not fair to them. I volunteer my time, but I also have equity, so there's a little bit of a difference there.
The replacement.
Yes.
The substitute.
Exactly. Yeah, so I have equity. Well, it's kind of
At least that one behaves and doesn't bite you, Grant.
What?
Greenfield doesn't bite you.
Yeah, Greenfield doesn't bite me. No, it doesn't. But it does judge me just as much as Victoria. It's a slow day on YouTube today. I don't see anybody hanging out with us, but that is okay.
Give it time.
It is what it is. So first off, Tad, how have things been going for you? I know it's been a minute since you've been hanging out with us. I'm sure. Is the day job just keeping you busy?
Day job's busy. Lots of projects around the house. I just bought $600 worth of like pavers or stepping stones or whatever you want to call them.
Oh yeah.
They're like 20-inch square concrete things because I'm doing up and down the sides of my house where right now it's just like dirt and gravel. So I'm gonna scrape all that back, put down landscape fabric so the weeds don't come through, and put in some stepping stones. So.
Pro tip, put some sand or gravel, some thin gravel down first.
Yeah.
Then
level.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to flood, it's going to suck, and it'll never be even again.
Oh, yeah.
They have this special sand that goes between them because we got that done for about... No, but it makes it... It's almost like the kinetic sand if you touched it.
Oh, yeah, the polymeric stuff.
Uh-huh, and
it
turns almost into like a cement after it dries.
They make a sand that has like a polymeric binder. You just throw some water in there and it gets all sticky.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I did a pool deck with my mom once at our place in Colorado before I moved here, and we did it all with pavers and the polymeric sand.
Is it worth it?
Sweep.
Expensive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean it's better to do it yourself, but it doesn't crack as easily. because it's got a bit of give.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah, I know we did some pavers out on the back porch years ago, and we just used like some crushed seashells or something, you know, gravel, and it's fine. I mean, yeah, there are some areas that kind of washed out a little bit, but you know, we should have gotten a like a compactor or something to really tamp. We didn't do any of that. I
mean, hell, even the plate on the stick would have worked.
We did use one of those, but I mean, it's also Florida, so and it has been raining like crazy here. We cut the grass last week, and it needs to be cut again. Frankly, it needed to be cut on Wednesday, and all the neighbors are cutting their grass, so you know we just have to do it too, or the passive-aggressive messages from my lovely neighbor come in via Facebook. But nonetheless, and you know, it's interesting because
that's what John's for, right? To go cut the grass.
I cannot cut the grass. It hurts my back way too much. And like if I really needed to, I could, but I don't. Oh, my dad's hanging out. Polymeric sand keeps the weeds out too, he says. So there you go, Ted. If you use the polymeric sand, you might not need to use the weed barrier, but just use the weed barrier.
I was going to do that regardless.
It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have
Multiple layers of defense.
Yeah. Yeah, weeds are real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
We have some around our shed that have grown into trees.
Oh yeah.
Like
I believe it. There's
trunks, and I will need to take a chainsaw to remove.
I've got tree trimming shears, and I had to use that to get some of the weeds down that were growing along the side of my house. Because the stem was like, you know, half inch to an inch in diameter. It was insane. And it was not there 2 months ago.
The joys of homeownership, right?
Oh God.
You're like, can I just put Roundup on everything and just have
no,
dirt?
No, none of that. That stuff is banned in Europe, dude.
It is, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, Roundup is bad news bears. Salt is just as effective, and
I use a mixture of Epsom salt, vinegar, and Dawn dish soap, and that kills everything.
Jeez.
And I don't think that's nearly as bad for you.
No, actually, that should be just fine for your skin. Yeah, quite frankly, if anything,
actually,
it'd be good for your skin.
Yeah,
but it kills those weeds. The only thing is you need so much of it that I used like weed and feed for the majority of the lawn, and I'm just doing that stuff with the spot treatment. You know.
This is one of the benefits of living in an area without a homeowner association. If it's green, it's staying, right? I'm sure half of everybody's lawns out here are weeds. But guess what? It's green. And we don't care.
Photosynthesis.
Right? It gets the job done. And quite frankly, the biggest issue that we have is because I never leave the house, I have to move my car, or I end up putting like dead spots from where the car's been sitting.
Blocks out the sun.
Right? Yeah. So that's like one of those weird things that you don't think about when you're injured or, you know, working from home, that you should be moving your car. I also don't have a traditional driveway. There's no concrete driveway. It's all grass. So yeah, it kills the grass. So yeah, a bit of an odd thing, but yeah, it's all just green. Green is all that we care about out here. And I know like some homeowner associations tell you like the type of sod that you can use. I'm like, I don't have
biodiversity is good.
Yeah, biodiversity.
What is a weed? When did we decide that certain plants were weeds? I'm suspicious.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was big tobacco is the one that's responsible for marijuana being illegal. So what would the anti-weed like big
lawn?
Big lawn. Big lawn. It's big lawn. Oh, that would be Big Monsanto, Jonathan.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, John's actually
one of them.
Right. Yeah, no, it'd be Big Monsanto. But yeah, it's kind of crazy for the two of you. It's funny. There are three of us on this podcast right now. One is somewhere up in the northern area of Oregon. The other one, or central, he's in Oregon. The other one is somewhere in the depths of Los Angeles. And I am in Tampa, Florida. And Tampa, Florida happens to be the coldest out of all three people here. It is currently 88 degrees Fahrenheit and partly sunny, according to my Windows Hello BS now. Tad, you said it's going to be a high of 114?
114. Shit's broken, man.
It's time to sell the house and move, Tad.
No, I'm just going to have to weatherize it better.
That's fair.
I think next summer I'm going to get solar panels, because now my concern is everyone in their grandmother is now getting AC who didn't have it. So the power grid is going to be like, oh God.
Yeah, and
so,
let's not do
yeah,
Texas.
solar.
Yeah, we got that last, like, during the pandemic, and
like PV panels.
We did Tesla solar. I did the whole thing, but yeah.
You have a Tesla solar roof?
Nice.
No, not the roof. They're the panels.
Oh, okay.
Because our roof is we have a fairly new roof, so we just got.
Do you have the power bank also, the battery?
No,
bank?
we didn't end up doing the power backup because I mean our grid is decent here, and we don't have like the rolling blackouts because of ours is LADWP, so it's not like one of the companies. It's like the government, so they don't have to do the rolling blackouts because.
With actual regulations, imagine that.
Yeah.
Saying what it has to be able to do.
Whoa, wait a minute. I thought we don't want the government regulating anything.
Decentralized.
We do. Government regulation is good as long, to some extent, of course, as long as it is not furnished by the pockets of large businesses, right? Ultimately, if you are spending billions of dollars to lobby to make sure that your company can control things, then it is not functional, and that is why the U.S. economy system for lobbying and everything is very broken. And you're talking to a business owner, the height of capitalist. No, it's broken. Like, the fact that I don't have any other options for internet other than Bright House / Spectrum, which is Charter.
There's a reason
for
that.
Or satellite. That's it. And I can't get faster than what I have right now. I have the fastest plan from Charter. It should be $100 a month. It is $400 down and $40 up, which is, quite frankly, bullshit. It's bullshit.
That's exactly
you should be able to get a gig.
As a content creator, I don't care about the download speed. I care about the up speed. And yes, we went from the 200 by 20 to the 400 by 40, so it is double the up speed, but it is still not fast enough. I want to be able to stream in 4K. Not that any of my equipment can handle it, but let's say all of my equipment could handle it. Our internet physically cannot handle streaming in 4K. You need 52 megabits per second to stream in 4K. We cannot physically do that from this location, and there is no way out here to make it happen because
we can't get that here in LA even.
Yeah, you're in LA. So.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Because we're at least we had the 440 for a long time now because we had Time Warner originally. It was not the Charter to Time Warner. It was Time Warner to Spectrum, which was a little bit better transition than the whole Charter thing.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, there's worse out there. Comcast and how they're limiting you for your data.
Yeah.
I mean that would destroy us. If for some reason Spectrum decided to start limiting me, I'm going Starlink. And I'll make a YouTube video about it because I can. And
you'd have to put some active cooling on it though, just so you know.
Well, maybe you guys might have to.
No, I didn't see that. Did you
does it actually require active cooling?
It shuts down if it reaches 120 degrees.
That's crazy.
Not just the temperature, but the thing will get hot because of the way it is.
That seems like a pretty large design flaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
And
I mean, it's technically beta still, I think. So I think that's kind of how they're getting away with it. But I mean, look, they did reach 69,420 users though.
Yes, I did see that. And see, everybody, like, we're gonna be launching our Patreon hopefully end of this week. We're just waiting to get some photos done for it, which would have been done, but we had an emergency project come through, so we're pushing Patreon until we can get the emergency project done. But there will be a Musketeer tier, which is $420.69. Because, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. We can be funny. I got overruled on the Tree Fitty tier, which is a South Park reference. But I am pulling the owner card and keeping the $420.69 because we have the company name is 3D Musketeers. If we don't make one that is specific for Elon Musk just as a joke and tweet at him, if I can get 420.69 a month from Elon, I would think that that's a win overall.
I'd say that's pretty good.
And then we could say that we are officially supported by Elon Musk, which honestly, pretty cool thing to say, right? But yeah, that's, we like to have fun. Like the tiers are going to include things like stickers. So I've actually started putting stickers on my I took all the branding that was on it and covered it with my own company branding. So one of the tiers will include sticker packs, which of course had the Victoria sticker in it as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I think I'm going to start changing up the way we do our videos. So like a lot of content creators do sponsor reads. I think I should just do a sponsor read for 3D Musketeers. I've really been considering doing it because I can do it in like 15 seconds. Oh, Allison's here. Hey, Allison. I've been considering adding like a sponsor read in there because anyone that does want to start to sponsor us or companies that want to start supporting our channel will see that I'm actually pretty good at sponsor reads. And the fact that I have my pitch for the company, like I know it very well.
I mean, at this point, you definitely must.
I've taken a long time to really get it better, and it's interesting because it changes all the time, right? As our content changes, everything changes, and I've been slowly moving away from the make sure you ring the notification bell and hit the like button. Our editor wants me to try, just please slightly, very slightly tap that like button for me. Just like just something like that to see if it
give it a kiss.
Just
we can do like different ones, like depending on the day. Like just have like multiple options for it.
But like so I do them all live, right? All of this is all the videos that we film are generally one-take videos. Now, mind you, I make mistakes and they'll be edited out, and you see some of them in the bloopers. But yeah, I don't film videos in like 3 or 4 different takes. Although I say that, except the Tuesday video that's going to be coming out, the edited down live stream, is now on its 5th take. I think 5th or 6th take, because I keep having to modify the part. This is the latest modification to the part. Justin, if you remember, it was like real short. This is where it hooks in, so it's real long now.
Kind of 4-bar linkage are you making, Grant? What is this?
See, Tad, now if you watched our live streams, maybe you would know this.
I was busy.
Yeah, Tad.
Busy. My parents are busy and they still watch them. Hi, Dad. I know you're here. Oh, Peter Sassaman's here. Red/Ace hanging out with us. I bought a rain shower head, one of those, 10-inch square rain shower heads, and they're awesome, by the way. But this one also came with a dude. It was $50. Go to hell. All right. It also came with one of those off-head sprayers, right? So it has a T-valve and an off-head sprayer. And rain shower heads are great if you want to dump a ton of water at once. They are terrible if you want high pressure because you get high volume or high pressure. You don't get both.
Exactly.
And so the head is much higher pressure. Well, I want both, okay? And it doesn't actually have a way for you to hang the offhanded thing up there. It wants you to like stick it to your wall, and I don't want to do that. So I created a thing. So this actually holds on to the extension rod that comes up, and then this goes into, there's this whole screw mechanism that holds it together. So this should viably be coming on the back.
Just like this, right?
Yeah. It's a clamping mechanism. And so I'm tapping into the clamp, and then I have another part that we've made that actually holds the head of the shower, and this should viably work.
How heavy is the what's it called?
It's not heavy at all. I think maybe a pound and a half max.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is PETG, so over time it's going to get waterlogged and it will probably fail. But that's okay, right? You're in a shower.
You get some use out of it.
Huh?
You should get a long time of use out of it.
I figure we'll get a couple of years, but I think it will make for a pretty cool video. If it does fail, to look at how it fails. Like, I have PETG in some of our fish tanks. We have a weir system in one of our fish tanks, which is a vertical array of cutouts that allow water to pass through. And that's how it gets the filter system. But the weirs are a 1/4 inch wide. And a lot of our fish are smaller than a 1/4 inch wide. So I made weir covers that go horizontally. Now, because of how thin it needs to be to make everything fit, it is quite fragile. And I think every year or 2 years, they end up, a tine or two snaps, and we just replace it. It's no big deal. The print takes like an hour and a half, so I just don't care. But yeah, this is, I don't know. It's a thing. But yeah, normally most of the videos are one takes. That one decidedly is not going to be, because I have to, do stuff. So got a lot of cool time-lapse footage of it too, including the one that failed. There's one that only got like this far. By the way, this is the size it used to be. This is that arm that comes out. Now
the longer, yeah.
Now look at what they've done to my boy. This one was also completely mirrored. I did it mirrored, unfortunately, and it was a really easy fix, but just one of those things like, oh yeah, whoops. John says the fire department would like to have a chat with you about not having volume and pressure. Well, as much as I would love to have something similar to a fire hose in my shower, I don't think our well pump can handle that kind of volume and pressure. Now, if someone would like to hook up a fire hose line to my shower, I would only request that you go ahead and install like 16 more shower heads throughout the entire shower. So it's basically like a car wash, but for humans. And I am going to officially request the RGB lights for the soap dispensers as well, because if I'm going to have a car wash for humans, I want the RGB rainbow
you
vomit
want the full
experience.
Yes.
I want the whole
like the
experience.
And like the body wash and shampoo have to be like different colors, like in the car wash.
Duh. And no hot wax. No, thank you. Do not want the hot wax shine. Thank you very much. Now Amber's always
and the underbody wash.
Amber's always talked about, like, if we build a house that we're going to spend a non-trivial amount of money making a good shower. We both prefer the walk-in shower. One, because my dumbass would probably trip and fall getting in and out of a tub. But two, there's just, you can make it as big as you want. Tubs come in generic sizes.
And you can put however many heads you want and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
You have to have like the exact temperature control. Like, so it's like a touch screen with like,
oh, hell yeah. Look, if my car that was made in 2002, my car that is older than one person on this podcast currently, can have accurate temperature control for its air conditioning. Now, I'm sure it was accurate when the car was new. Now it's kind of an approximation. But
okay, older car air conditioning is so much better than new car air conditioning. It's so much better.
Because they used to put more effort into it.
It's so much better. Eric says a shower with automatic waxing sounds kind of painful. Eric, we have a company policy that we don't kink shame. If that's your thing, we're not here to tell you to say no to it. All right, buddy? But no, I do think like having pressure washer level shower heads could be mildly problematic unless you do need exfoliation. I mean, I'm just saying that would be pretty good. Just make sure to, cover up the sensitive bits.
That'd be really painful. Like, if you ever put your hand in front of a pressure washer, that hurts.
Okay, it does.
Yeah.
But let's say it's one of those, that has like the fan, right? So it fans out. When you're a foot away from it, it's not that painful anymore. It's actually quite pleasant, and it lets you dial in the pressure. See, that's what I'm all about. I'm all about setting that pressure, right? But yeah, yes, and Peter's right. There are systems with smart temperature control in baths as well as showers, and you're right, there are. But they cost more than what my car is now worth.
Yeah.
Which is considerably more than it was worth 2 years ago. You're looking well over $3,000 for something like that, and I think realistically, all I would want now that I've enjoyed the range shower heads, I'm like, I do like these. I'd want a quartet of them, right? So just 4, maybe 12-inch wide, at least 144 nozzles, right? Because the one I have is a 10-inch 100 nozzle. I'd want 144 nozzles on a 12-inch, 4 of them, so you get good coverage.
Yeah.
And then I want like blasters, right? on the front and the back. And that way you can still have a curtain or a door. If it is a glass door, I want it on 3 of the 4 sides, okay? And if maybe you have a half wall, so then I want it on all 4 sides. I'm going to be persnickety about this. And John says, yes, Grant, they are not free. I get it. And see, if you're building it yourself, you could just put pressure washer quick releases on it, so you could just dial in the pressure that you're looking for.
Quick connect.
You could put a foam cannon
sticking out of your wall
in your car.
Yes, I could put a foam cannon. Yes, I could have a foam cannon in my shower. Would that
That would actually
work?
be really cool.
Grant, all you need is the quick connect, and then you just have a hose in your shower with the foam cannon attachment on the end of it.
It would be great for cleaning
No
off
one
whatever
said you
need.
can't use it on yourself.
This is gentlemen. I need to get in contact with one of our patent attorneys. I need to patent this shit like right now. Okay, like right now.
Off the shelf.
Because you know what? It would work. John says, of course, the body wash foam cannon would work.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh,
really
damn
cool,
it. Now
actually.
the bubble machine comes up again. Son of a... Damn it. John says you just need the pressure and the GPM. To power a whole bunch of pressure washer heads, you do need a sizable pump, though, and those aren't free either. Damn it, Eric, let me live. I reject your reality and substitute my own. I want to live in a reality where I can just go out and get a freaking, and I'll have some sort of, like, pump to switch things over. I want to put a freaking water jet pump in my shower to power 16 different nozzles. And you know what? While we're at it, we're going to put an ESP32 in it because you can, and we can have motion tracking. So you can always make sure that when you're in that shower, it can even do sonar tracking.
They're all like on turrets and they're all just tracking the whole time.
You know,
all of
you
them are
can have
gimbal.
auto turrets, but, you know,
My God.
for shower. But, see,
This is getting
if it
elaborate.
Detects, if it detects distance, it can also vary the pressure with, you know, butterfly valves or something.
So we can add LiDAR now onto it to do the distance tracking.
Which basically means it is looking at your Ghibli bits all the time. But you know what? We're going to ignore that portion
It doesn't
of
know
it.
what it's looking at.
And know that no matter where you are in the shower, the pressure will be equal.
And then we can sell this to Facebook so they can have all the extra data that they need.
Jonathan, this is
Oh,
the perfect
God.
example of feature creep. Yes. But see, I am not someone that is going to actually move forward with this. This is what the
It's a
basic
thought experiment
client.
only.
This is like what our basic client meetings sound like with brand new inventors. What if it did this and this and this? I'm like, all right, so we got off track like 10 minutes ago. Why don't we start there and let's get you an MVP and go from there.
Yeah.
Eric says you could get one of those huge industrial diesel-powered pressure washers. Then you would be the only guy in the area with a shower within a 3-digit number of horsepower. I could have the world's most powerful shower. Now I'm just looking at like going out to a junkyard, buying
Sounds like dangerous to human life at that point.
Eric wants to do diesel. I'm thinking we go out to a junkyard, we pull a 5.3 LS motor out of a pickup truck. And we hook it up to one crazy water pump that I'm sure we can source from like an old firehouse or some sort of government surplus stuff. Okay, then we have the world's first LS powered shower. Okay, now think of the YouTube video for this, right?
It needs to be
This will
turbo.
like strip paint off of stuff.
And damn it, you will be as clean as you've ever been. Exfoliating
have
certain
skin
it's gonna
anymore.
bloody.
It's gonna cause you to bleed. Your skin has never been cleaner because
I
it's
just want to be
gone.
pure.
It's like the water gun baptisms.
Oh God.
Jonathan says just buy an old fire truck. You know what?
Yeah.
Screw it. We should buy an old fire
That
truck.
might be less expensive.
There was a government surplus. It was like $200. The guy was like,
It was
I
in
bid
Oregon. I
200
told Tad to go buy it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
it was
remember that.
The guy was like, I bid $250 on this. And no one's outbid me. Anyone bid like $252, please?
And it's like I told Tad, I said, buy it, park it out front of your house. What are they gonna do? Tow it? Fill
Yeah.
it full of water. It will be immobile. You will not be able to move a fire truck that is full of water. Unless you get one of those really big systems to do it. But man, see, this just sounds like fun. And I feel like everybody here is telling me this is a bad idea, and I'm over here thinking this is an awesome YouTube series that I
Oh
need
no,
to-
it's an awesome idea.
You could easily attach. Okay, the foam cannon, they're just regular threads. It would thread right onto your
But you
shower
need high
head.
pressure. Foam cannons don't work.
No,
without
I
high
have a
pressure.
foam cannon that connects right onto my hose.
They suck though.
They're okay.
I
For
want
a
a
shower.
foam cannon with so much foam that if you spun around in it, you could walk out of the shower and not get demonetized. That is how much foam I want from a foam cannon.
And you will need something to step up the domestic
I
water
mean, look
pressure.
at how
yeah.
much Dr.
Yeah.
Squatch and some of the soap companies are spending on social media advertising. We could get them to sponsor this. What
Do
the
it.
hell am I
You
getting?
can get like honey. Be like,
myself into?
you can get it like save on your foam cannons, honey.com, and boom, there we go. I'll pay for the whole project.
Yeah, go to 3D Musketeers/honey, where you can donate $420.69 to making one boy's dream a reality of having a fire truck powered shower. Speaking of fire trucks, I guess this is a decent segue. It's not an LTTstore.com segue, but it is a pretty good segue. For those of you that don't know, there was a pretty serious disaster last week, or was it the week prior, in Miami, Florida. Basically, 70% of a condo just evaporated.
Pancaked.
Yeah, it just ceased to exist. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people trapped inside of it. So we want to give a good shout out to all the first responders, including some wonderful guys and gals from the Hillsborough County Fire Rescue that are down there right now digging through rubble trying to find people, because yeah, unfortunately the statistics for finding people in rubble, not great.
It's been a couple days already.
Great. Yeah. Eric is saying, I see the possibility of Justin designing a set of custom high pressure foam shower heads 3D printed in metal. Yes. I am all for this.
Except they'd cost a few thousand each, probably.
Tampa and St. Pete are down there. Task Force 3 out of Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. Thank you guys for what you're doing out there. Yeah, this is, what is it, set to be one of the worst collapses in decades.
If so, currently there are like 160 people missing, something like that. If and as time goes on, the chances of them being recovered is much, much lower.
Yeah, it is orders of magnitude lower every single day, which is unfortunate.
If they end up dying, this will displace the previous record holder for the worst, most lethal structural collapse in U.S. history.
Yeah, it looks like as of this video, we are at 9 deceased and 156 still missing. Yeah,
so I had to learn about this in my engineering classes, especially from the ethics point of view. So the previous record holder was the Hyatt Regency walkway collapse in, Kansas City in the 80s. So in that situation, they had a big, like 3-story lobby in this hotel, right? And they had this concrete walkway that was going across the 3rd floor in this open air lobby, and it was held up by steel rods connecting to the ceiling. And what happened was, it wasn't an engineering failure, not really, because as designed, it was fine. It would have held the load. But the fabricator was like, this is too hard to make a long steel rod. We'll just make it in 2 pieces and attach them to each other.
Oh, no.
No.
So the weld failed.
Well, it became a shear failure because it doubled the load. If you do like a free body diagram, you can figure it out. You make it basically twice the amount of force that each thing has to carry. So then a bunch of people were on it during like the opening like gala that they had for it, and it fell and it killed like 118 people, something like that, and injured 200 more. So that was the previous one. And if the death toll is what I think it's going to be, this will be the number 1 worst structural collapse.
And of course, it's in Miami, and you know, Miami debatably hasn't had the greatest construction for years. And this building was built in the 70s, which is back when Miami definitely didn't have great construction, because Miami's construction got a lot better after 1989 when Hurricane Andrew came through and just decimated the entirety of Miami.
Well, and now older buildings have to go through like recertification and mandatory repairs and everything. So.
This one, they were tracking some sort of like foundation shift, like 2 millimeters a year of foundation shift. And to give you all an idea, you might think, 2 millimeters, that's not a big deal. All right, I'm going to hold up. Damn near 2 millimeters. There. That's 2 millimeters per year.
For a building that's over 40 years old.
It's like a 1/16 of an inch.
Yeah. What's that come out to? 40 millimeters.
What?
So 80 millimeters to inches. What is that? That's like...
That's over 3 inches.
It's like this.
Over 3 inches.
Yeah. You can bet that stuff that's big slabs of concrete at that distance, they'll crack. You can't stand those kinds of loads.
3.2 inches over 40 years. John just did the math for us. Yeah, it is... and it's terrible, right? And like there are stories of a gentleman who's been getting calls from his grandparents' room for 15 calls in the past day, and they're all static. From a room that no longer exists. The room is gone. And his grandparents are some of the people that are still trapped. So, like, man, I don't envy that guy. Like, that's a real shitty situation where that phone rings and you're expecting, you know, Gam and Pop or whatever you call them to be telling you they're okay, and it's nothing but static, man. I can't imagine that. But hey, Nadav, how you doing?
I was reading they were just about to start repairs in the building too. Like that was slated for this year.
My hope, and look, this is a disaster that effectively is priority 1 for all counties here in Florida. I mean, the fact that Hillsborough County is like 2.5, 3 hours away from Miami, they said, screw it, we're sending people. And and they sent people. And people are coming from statewide to make this happen.
Yeah.
I just linked a video about the Hyatt
we
collapse.
can't see the video. Where'd you put this?
I put it in the chat. It links since I'm a moderator on the chat.
I don't see it yet.
It was before. It was right after you said 9 now.
Oh, nope. Yeah, it doesn't show up. Unless...
That's so weird.
Let me change it to... I don't know. I don't see it on my side, so if people don't see it, Justin, can we throw it in the... what is it? The
I sent it on Discord.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to... I'll put this in the chat for anyone that wants to see it. Because, yeah. Yep, okay, that's true. No links are showing. So there you guys go. That link should show. Yeah, this is... Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
Jonathan says to show a report, but I don't think I can easily do that.
I can...
No.
Try.
Oh,
so this was
OBS.
Oh, no. Dude, it's like... How many page report?
I can summarize it. I read it.
Okay, Tad, what you got for me, buddy?
So this was a consulting engineer, Mr. Frank Morabito, who did a assessment on it in 2018, I think, and he took pictures of all the concrete cracking.
October 8, 2018.
Exposing rebar, and he made his recommendations. One of the glaring problems he found was the waterproofing layer for the concrete was not at an angle; it was flat, so water will just pool. And this was specifically, I think, for the pool area, which was on top of parking garage. So, and it's probably multiple things. It's probably maintenance issues. There was probably some ground subsidence, that they won't know that until they are able to remove all the debris and look at the geology of it. But I know that that's a thing, right? Sinkholes, Florida, people know that.
Yep.
So that could be a factor. And then also salty, moist air corrodes rebar because it can just kind of.
Yeah, and this was like beachfront. It looked like.
Yeah.
Or reasonably.
Because that stuff
beachfront.
can permeate concrete and then attack the rebar from the inside. So if you're not keeping up on keeping the exterior in good shape, then yeah.
Yeah, no dice. And it's I as someone that has spent not a ton of time in Miami, but yeah, I mean, Miami doesn't exactly have the greatest track record of having some of the greatest buildings out there and some of the highest quality building. Now, they definitely have some ones that are stellar, like the Porsche Design Tower is something that will likely outlast the test of time with a Desivator, an elevator that doesn't go straight up and down. But there are some, when you look at the 1960s, 1970s in Miami, right, that is not the prime of their construction era. So it is unfortunate. We just wanted to make sure that we, gave a shout out and recognize the fact that this is a big deal, but gave a shout out to all the first responders that are out there risking their lives to make sure that we can try to get even one more person out of there alive. So, thanks to all you guys that are out there, doing all that. So that's kind of huge, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, let's transition to a way more lighthearted topic. Justin, get rid of that. Thank you. I want to go to a much more lighthearted topic. Creality released the Ender 7. And Joel Telling actually released a video earlier today that is so close to the video we're going to be releasing on Monday, and it is very upsetting to me. But oh well, about the Ender 7, where he cut the frame of an Ender 7 to make it better. Also, he used a grinding wheel as a cutoff wheel, and it just bothered me. But,
not the same thing.
Joel removed part of a plastic fascia and part of its metal frame. And as someone that has a Core XY printer, you don't want to cut their metal frames. They get I think cutting that is going to be the downfall of that printer for him. But yeah, the Ender 7 has been a disaster of a printer for Joel. Yeah, it's not fun. Nadav says 3 days and still digging it all out. And John said, yeah, it's going to be weeks. And he's right. It's going to be weeks until we really know the true impact of all of this. But yeah, the Ender 7, so they're claiming linear rails, but they use freaking V-wheels on all the damn Z-axis. There are 4 V, and I hate V-wheels. I hate V-wheels so much because they wear. They don't have great tolerances. It just, nah.
Yeah.
How more difficult would it have been to remove the V-wheels and put 2 linear rails there? Creality, seriously.
Monies.
Not that. Yeah.
V-wheels are so cheap.
They are. And as someone that my D-Bot was first built with V-wheels, right? We built it V-wheels on all 3 axes. V-wheels on the X and Y failed within a year. The bearings just destroyed, gone. The Z-axis is fine because the V-wheels there were really just keeping it in line, moving up and down parallel. We transitioned to steel linear rails, which is what Creality did for the XY, and it is so much better now. And we recently upgraded the Z-axis to something that is so heavy. The Z-axis now weighs more than the entire printer. A 1605 ball screw and a pair of SBR12 linear rails. So they're linear rails that are that have a bracket mount on them. So Justin, instead of an LM8UU, which is a full bearing, this is a bearing that's like this, because there's a holding piece here, so the bearing can still slide. The damn thing weighs like 45 pounds. It's great. It's gonna be so strong, so strong. But yeah, this is I don't know about the printer. They're claiming 250. I'm glad that Joel is also very, very like, 250, because
what's the price on it?
So 3D printing industry is claiming 700, but there's no price on Creality's website. Now, don't get me wrong, if it is $700, if it can reliably print at 250 millimeters per second, it is going to be a good printer for the money. But I have absolutely zero faith that it can reliably print that fast.
Is it a Titan?
No, it's Bowden. Bowden with Bondtech gears for the drive. Now, if you look, they have a high flow hot end. The nozzle has over 50 cubic millimeters worth of volume inside of it. And from what they show, it looks like it's a 3 millimeter nozzle that you're just packing full of filament, and that doesn't make sense to me. What I believe it's going to end up being is something more volcano-like, so it has a much longer melt zone. But still, you can't move printers that fast. Like, we can move our Fusion 3 that fast, but our Fusion 3 weighs 90 pounds.
Yeah.
It's rigid.
And
it doesn't use belts, it uses Spectrum. Huh?
I don't think the extruder will keep up unless it's geared.
It appears that it was geared.
Geared for speed.
Eric says the V-wheels is really the thing I dislike most about the CR30. I agree. If someone come out with a linear rail kit for a CR30, I think that'd be probably a good buy for people. But when you're already spending...
There was a really cool kit that was for like Ender 3s and whatnot. I'll have to find it. But it used the V-slot like extrusion still. Instead of being reels, it turned them into linear rails because it rode on the metal, on the actual flat part, not like inside the groove.
Oh.
Oh, let me find this thing.
But it's like, how much was that upgrade kit, right? Because I look at this and say,
$100.
Oh, okay, all right, $100, fine. But
I think,
like,
but still,
a lot of these upgrade kits are gonna cost you more than the damn printer. So go buy a Prusa. I know. He's a Prusa fanboy, and guess what? They don't even pay me to say this, and
No.
they should. They really should, because I am a huge advocate of Prusa. I think their printers for the money are some of the best bang for the buck out there. Now, if you are willing to put the time into a Creality printer, like a CR30 or a Ender 3, Ender 5, Ender 7, whatever number of Ender you want, yes, you can get great prints out of them. But if you value your time at any more than $2 an hour, you're gonna waste your money. Right? You trade cheap upfront cost for back-end time spending. And if that's what you want to do, do it. I said it in the Ender 7 video, which of course isn't live yet, but I think, Creality printers serve to be great second printers. Once you've got a printer that's reliable, if you get a Creality printer, one that you're going to fumble around with a little bit, that's okay. Right? That to me says, all right, I've got my backup. I want to play around with this one. Maybe its build volume is bigger. Maybe it can print faster. But it's all about acceleration. If you have like a 300 millimeter per second squared acceleration and you're printing at 250 millimeters per second speed, you'll basically never hit full speed. And like, I can make any of the printers behind me. I bet I can make an Ender 3 print at 250 millimeters per second according to the slicer. I would bet a non-trivial amount of money that I could, because I would just turn the acceleration down so much that it wouldn't matter. It would never get up to speed. Yep. And in none of the videos on Creality's website do you actually see that it's printing this quickly. Now, they have a video of it moving very quickly, but I don't believe that it was actually extruding during that. So, yeah, I would love to get one, right? I want to test it. But considering Joel's like one of the only people that I've seen that's gotten one, we definitely don't have that kind of pull just yet, which is why you should subscribe.
And Joel's not very harsh on reviews typically, so if he was harsh on a review,
this review was harsher than I was expecting. Joel to me is like one of those guys that is just always happy and nice, even if something doesn't go well. He's someone that looks on the bright side of things. The dude has now done 3 videos on this, which ostensibly is good for Creality because it gets the name out there more. But the first 2 were basically the printer not working great.
Yeah.
And the third one, he finally did get a good print out of it. But he panned up a little bit to show the infill. He didn't mention it, but the infill looked really bad. Like it wasn't filling properly. So the extrusion was not set adequately. So I don't know, man. I would love to try it. I am so much looking forward to when we're going to have the standing set and we're going to be able to do stuff similar to what Joel does with having, unboxings and testings and all that, because that's really what people love to see, at least from what I can tell, right? That's what Joel does, is what Tom does, is what a lot of them do. And no, we're not copying them, although there will be a lot of stuff that's kind of taken from them, because guess what? It's statistically what you do.
Right.
But, I admire them because throughout all of it, I believe Tom is probably the most critical, but he does it in a very educational way. Joel does it in a way that is both educational. He's edutainment, right? Educational entertainment. We have Angus. We've got Stefan of CNC Kitchen, Angus of Maker's Muse. All these people have their own different style, and I hope that we can have a style that people enjoy too, which again is why you should get subscribed and leave a like on this video. I would say because of the cat, but if you showed up late, you missed Victoria. She was in here biting me. So she's relegated somewhere else. I don't know where, probably in her glorious cat bed. And if you don't know the glorious cat bed that I'm talking about, go to the community section on our YouTube page and you'll be able to see some behind the scenes photos, one of which is Victoria laying in her 1900s era doll bed that we won for her at a charity auction. So yeah, weird stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, Tad, what do you think about a Core XY printer, 250 by 250 by 300 build volume, moving 200...
I think it's a pretty reasonable build volume for that price. Yeah,
I think that size is a good size.
Yeah,
and its exterior is not that much larger. Have you seen the photos of it and how it's got 3 pillars?
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
I
don't know.
trust that for rigidity.
I could go either way on it. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. You know.
I talked about ours. So we have a D-bot that's 400 by 400 by 788.
Yeah.
So that's big. It's 16 by 16 by 31. Oh, Jonathan says she is indeed in her bed. So Jonathan went into my room to say that the cat is indeed in her bed.
Migrated.
Yep, there she is. She is indeed laying in her bed, recharging her cat batteries in the window, as you do.
Banggood has it for $6.99.
Huh?
But it says 30% off from $1,000.
What?
The Ender 7.
Yeah, 3D Printing Industry had it for $6.99, but Creality's website didn't have it priced out. So I don't know if I trust those numbers 100%. But
yeah,
when you go to a big printer, though, you've got an issue of shaking. Literally, parts aren't stiff anymore. Aluminum stops being stiff when it's quite large, right? Because you have lever actions that are going on. Allison asks, is Victoria solar powered? Yes, like most cats, Victoria is solar powered. Yeah.
Creality's one of the Creality website. The Creality3D.shop has it up for $1,000.
That sounds like a fake Creality website. That's
It
the other
is, but
problem.
people do get them though from there. I remember when everyone was grabbing printers, when everyone was printing facials, and everyone was just buying up printers as fast as they could. Some people were getting them from there and it was showing up. Some people just never got anything. It's like they're kind of Creality, but kind of not. It's
That's gonna
weird.
be a no for me, dog. I'm not taking that chance.
No, I wouldn't buy it from them, but I'm just saying the price wise, I think it's between $700 to $1,000.
If I'm gonna buy a Creality printer, I'm buying it from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a
Or
minute,
Sane
so-
Smart, maybe.
I'm looking at the pictures again. Is the bed only supported on one pillar?
That is correct. It's a cantilevered bed. And ours is too.
I don't know about that.
Ours is too. But remember, I'm using a ball screw that weighs more than Creality's entire printer.
Right.
The printer, no.
I know, and I'm like, you can see their ball screw in the back, and it's
Like-
no bigger than the one on. It's no
Those
bigger
are
than
lead
the.
screws. They're not using a ball
Yeah.
screw. Like my plate. So my bed is also cantilevered, but the plate that attaches the bed to the Z-axis is a 1/2 inch thick aluminum. Okay?
Yeah.
Now that is stiff. That's real stiff. Now, yes, at the full distance of it, it's going to probably have some droop, but guess what? My printer has automatic bed leveling. This one doesn't, and that was one of the big issues that Joel had. His bed actually came bent. Now, there's one screw that you can adjust to level it back out. But that, again, seems like a problem to me. So
Yeah, your Z-axis is where I think they're going to run into the most issues.
I think once you can get this printer tuned and you can get settings that work well at speed, it's going to be pretty venerable. But will the time that it takes to get the printer up to that speed reliably be worth it? That's the
it seems like a lot of work.
Yeah. That to me is really the question that we need to be asking here. So we'll see how people like this Creality video. I'm excited for the printer. I'd love to be able to get my hands on one, but if it's $700, I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
There's like, from a business standpoint, it does me no good. Now, if Creality wants to send us one as a review unit that we then either send back or we keep, whatever, I would love to look at that. But I'm not going to spend $700 on a YouTube video. Not right now. Sorry, guys. You don't want to know the amount. I spent $140 on that stupid Simplify 3D video. But that's okay. I'm actually going to keep the paid software. Because it is valuable. But yeah, it's... I don't know about the Ender 7. I don't. By the way, Ted, did you see the mattercontrol video?
I have not yet. I remember you guys talking about it.
I told you guys about it. So let's transition into slicers real quick. We did the mattercontrol video this week, and I talked about it in the video, but I made an editor note to have that part edited out. I'm pretty certain that what MatterHackers is doing is illegal. You are auto opted into data collection. I'm almost now. I read the EULA. I could have missed something again. I read it 3 times. And we only showed me reading it once in the video. And that was even sped up. I did not see anything about that you are opting into data collection. That is a gross violation of GPDR. it's illegal.
Do we know if it's not just caching it on your local machine or that it's sending
states that it is sending print data to matter hackers.
Well, and even if it's not illegal in most places in the U.S., I would bet like California it's illegal. I know they have stronger protections for this kind of stuff.
And guess where matter hackers is located?
California.
They're in Cali.
That's an interesting choice on their part.
So, and here's what I don't know, right? One, I didn't give it an opportunity to talk back, right? So I believe that the data collection only works when you sign up for an account, because otherwise you're not connecting, you're not signing into anything. So how is it sending data? I didn't give it access to do that. Now, maybe it automatically gives itself access. This is where my knowledge of software completely stops me. And I say, it's just really shitty. And for that reason alone, I cannot recommend that people use mattercontrol. It probably causes cancer in California. Eric's right. Basically, everything causes cancer in California.
That's true.
Justin, the air that you're breathing right now causes cancer. Hell, the sun is known to cause cancer in California.
But only in California.
Oh, well,
nowhere else.
Yes,
nowhere else.
That's true.
No.
Cigarettes are known to cause cancer in California, so I guess I'm in Florida.
Potato
so
chips.
I should be okay. But hey, you won't get no, Grant, don't make that joke. That's a great way to get. I was gonna make a COVID joke with cigarettes, but we're not gonna make that joke because that is against what we would consider brand okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I am real pissed about this Matter Hackers thing, and I don't know how much I really should lay into Matter Hackers about this, right? Because Matter Hackers has a great reputation in the industry, and I love working with them. But I don't want to ruin... GPDR applies to EU only, so you can work around it. You can, Nadav, but they don't
shouldn't have to, though.
So I installed it under a VPN where I put myself in the EU, and yeah, I didn't get any special GPDR anything. Yeah, they... yeah,
that's a little suspect.
You should send an email to Mara from Matter Hackers. And
you know what? I should. Justin, can you send me her email? I really should just be like, hey, what the hell's going on? And if it wasn't for the fact that video was filmed like 2 days before it went live, we probably would have done that. But I think it's good that we put it out there and then give them a chance to respond. Because if they respond and they clarify what's going on, or maybe they release a hot fix that fixes it, then we've done good for the community, right?
They might not even know that they're not making a distinction, you know? You never know. I would hope that they have more understanding of their own stuff than that, but you never know.
I don't know, man. It pisses me off. It pisses me off that, and some people are like, oh, I don't care. My phone already does this. Yes, but you've opted in for it, right? When you go through the EULA of turning on your phone and making it valuable, all of that is taken care of. You have Mara's phone number?
Oh, no, that's on her email.
Oh, okay.
Like on her, but I think it's like her cell, like her work cell.
I'm clearly not going to show this on stream, but
yeah,
I've got some information. So, all right, and what does she do for Matter Hackers? I'm curious.
She's like their community
person,
or what was her?
That'd be like the exact person I want to talk to. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'll reach out to him. The video is getting
Vice President. Strategic partnership. So
yep, she'd be a great person to talk to. Sounds like a good idea to reach out to Mara or Dave. They're usually pretty good to talk to. And Eric's right. I agree here. Yeah, and if they do clarify it, we'll release a video. And what we'll do is we'll change one of the end cards to be that update video.
And we'll comment it and put in the description. So
we'll comment. We'll pin a comment about it. We'll put it in the description because if they do fix it, I need people to know that it was fixed, right? And this is kind of the problem with YouTube. You can't just go in and add another clip to a video. They don't let you. You can remove stuff, but you can't add stuff. So, and I wish we could, because then we could add in a future grant of, hey, this is from a few weeks after this video was initially filmed. We got some clarification on this, yada yada. So yeah, I'll reach out to Mara or Dave this week and try to get, you know, an official statement and preferably some sort of resolution to this, because matter controls.
It's pretty cool.
Without this data collection thing, I think I said it was like an A- or B+, somewhere in that range, and that's true. I still could not find how to change my start and end G code inside of matter control. Could not find it. I tried. I even tried using their whole help thing, which I thought was very good. It actually showed me where the print settings were. Like 3/4 of the way into the video, I'm like, I don't know how to change my print settings. It's like on a little tile all the way over at the edge of your screen on a vertical tile where you wouldn't expect it to be.
That's a bit of a UI issue then.
It is. It's a UI UX thing. But I know they can easily fix this. And like looking at the way they've set the system up, I know why they did it. It makes sense if you understand the UI. If you don't understand the UI, it doesn't make sense. I said C to B. I would probably give them like a B+ or an A- if they didn't have anything about their thing. Because, well, maybe not, right? I think a C to B is probably accurate because I couldn't figure out how to change the G code. And, like, if I have to go to your help screen to find how to change certain settings, that's a pain in the ass. Justin apparently sends me a link on how to do this. This is old. This doesn't look like this anymore. Oh. Yeah, Justin, it doesn't look like that anymore.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
I mean, again, I could be an absolute moron. And I said that in the video. If I'm a moron, somebody show me a screenshot of how to do it, so that, again, I can make an update video. And that's why we're doing multiple videos about this, because I am showing you first user impressions of these things. And yes, I know Prusa Slicer was not a first user impression. Cura was not really a first user impression. It was a first user impression after I removed all of my add-ons. And, you know, Eric, bless his heart, has been awesome at calling my ass out for the things that I've gotten wrong. And it's because Eric is very close to the development of Cura, works for 3D Verkstan, right? He'll correct me. He's gonna do it. I tried. And, you know, they're one of the largest reps of Ultimaker. So that is kind of his thing. And I appreciate when people call me out, but I want to be very clear. Don't be dicks about it, right? And it was something that people said on my cricket videos. Hey, you're just being an asshole to be an asshole. Why don't you provide some, you know, constructive criticism and a way to fix it? So that's what we've started to do. And I don't know how to fix the opt-in thing because I'm not a programmer. But I believe that if they move the setting panel to the top in tabs and all that, he said you do a decent pronunciation. I'll take it. Can I get like a C+? Because that's really all I'm going for. Slightly better than average. Because, you know, look, we are the unexceptional 3D printing channel, right? Because we recognize that people are just getting into this for the first time, I don't want to do in-depth dive into Prusa Slicer as our first video because that doesn't work for newbies, right? And it also gives us the ability to update it as things get better. So, yeah. Also, since I just got a DM from them, I want to give a shout out to Geeky Faye. Geeky Faye actually posted one of their toughest videos for a content creator to make, period. They came out as being transgender, and that is huge. Okay. Now, Faye, most people thought that they use the pronouns, you know, she, her, but no, it's a they, them. And I am so proud of Allie. She gave us her real name. Her real name is Allie. I'm so proud of Allie for coming out and talking about it, especially during Pride Month, of course, because that takes a shitload of you know, gumption to do.
Yeah.
Non-binary. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, non-binary. My bad. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Non-binary. Sorry. Yep. Fuck that one up. Oh well.
You're somewhere within the LGBTQ.
Yeah, I watched the video
universe.
yesterday, and it was a long night. Let's go with it was a very long night of working.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep. My bad. But yeah. On episode 42, how dare you? Whatever. We know for a long period here that I am not perfect. I don't claim to be. I make mistakes all the time, and this is part of why we do live streams, so you guys get to see what it is like live. But yes, non-binary, excuse me. But yeah, Allie, that's a tough one. And I commented on their video saying, I don't know what lens you used, but it's a gorgeous lens. And they just said it is a 30mm f1.4 native Sigma lens. So that's how you can
Sigma
get that.
lenses are...
And that, well, the
Chef's
f1.4 gives you that crazy bokeh depth of field. Yes, yeah. What's your
1.8.
1.8. Yeah.
Mine's the cheap 50 nifty, the $100 one.
I don't have a camera where I could do any of that with, so I don't. The hope is eventually maybe we can get up there, but for right now, with 40 megabits per second upload speed, I'm not filming in 4K. It would take forever. It would take hours and hours and hours. Yeah.
I'm looking at mattercontrol's GitHub right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see if there's any like statistics reporting that is sending it back, or if it's just doing it locally, just so you have, if there's crash reports.
What do you
Is
mean?
that I'm just looking, just in the GitHub, because it's all open source.
To see if, yeah, it's open source, so we can see the talkback if it occurs and how it does it.
Yep.
But yeah. Eric said that he'd give me a B-. I'll take a B-. That's right for pronunciations. Yeah, man. I don't know. Matter control pisses me off. I don't know if I can ever look at them again and be happy. Like, and the worst part is we really do have to make some more videos on it, and I really just don't want to, because it just really upset me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't know. And Prime Day was this week, so we actually... I asked all the staff to make a list in Google Drive. So we've actually posted that in the description of this video, which is the staff list of all the stuff that we bought during Prime Day, and whether we got a good deal or didn't. And all but one, we all got good deals. So let me go back to it so I can pull it up. It was Josephine that actually didn't get a good deal. So her boyfriend bought a Ryzen 5 5600X for $300, but it is now $289.
Oh,
now it was over $300 prior to Prime Day. Now that's normal, right? The 5000 series Ryzen CPUs are a bit of a pain in the butt to work with, and they're hard to find. So. Yeah, I mean, $10 is what it is, but I bought a Anycubic Photon Mono X for $530. I said, oh, what the hey. We had a project where we could benefit from it, and I said, oh, let's just go for it. And ultimately, the client ended up going with a different technology, so I bought a printer for a project and never ended up using it.
I'm buying one of these soldering mats that you got.
Huh? Oh, you're buying the
soldering
mats?
That's nice. $5.99.
So
like
it was yeah, exactly. Now they're really thin.
I don't care. I do it on my kitchen table, so I need something that's better
hey,
than
John,
the kitchen
if you
table.
can hear me, can you get me the soldering mat? I don't know if he can hear me. If he can hear me, he'll bring it. But yes, Nadav, Camel is great for that kind of thing. It was like $6 for a soldering mat, and I want to use that because I am debating. So we're gonna have a top-down set. And John, it's the blue one. Or you can bring them both. I don't care.
Where would it be?
By the Mono X. Should be over by the Mono X. But I'm debating on vinyl wrapping the table. And the problem with vinyl is you don't want to get it hot. Or you don't want to get a soldering iron on it. And if I don't do that, the table's kind of not the cleanest. So maybe we'll paint it. I don't know. But a soldering mat is really nice to have, and they're dirt cheap. Yeah.
I heard you through.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you put
You
the
heard me
vinyl
through
wrap,
the
then you
stream.
used a mat of some sort. That wouldn't be bad.
What'd you say, Justin?
You'd probably want something bigger than this little one. This is pretty small based on.
I mean, okay. Get out of the bag. I mean,
Because like for a video, you'd want something bigger, I think.
yeah, like
Very on brand.
it's. I had to make sure I get it in blue. Yes, this is tiny, but like for your standard person soldering mat, this is plenty. Now,
Oh yeah,
this is a
that's why I'm
really,
gonna grab
really
this. It's
cheap
perfect
one.
size for me.
There are
Yeah.
some better ones out there that have magnet trays, and like this one's got little parts for little things for screws and all that, but this should be soldering safe. Yeah, it's just silicone, not
There you go.
silicon.
Thank you.
Yes, Allison says it's just silicon. No, it is silicone. I could make a comparison of the differences, but I'm not going to make one that's YouTube friendly, so we're not going to do that. It does have a ruler on it, but it's in inches, so it does me no good. Yeah, I don't know. For the price, it was $6. For $6, I said, what the hell, I'll buy it. And then the other silicone mat that I got is not... Oh, God, I put that on the ground. Oh, never put silicone on the ground. Because every particle of dust and dirt that you have on your ground will get picked up by the mat. The other one was this one. Be gone with you. And this is literally just... It's just silicone. Oh, it's stuck to itself.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can get a peel.
Ooh.
Why is this so difficult to peel apart? Oh, it stinks. This does not smell like silicone. I am afraid this one's pretty thin. Why would they do it this way?
Yeah, is the other side more matte and that side's shiny?
Yes, this is the shiny side, and the shiny side is stuck to itself.
It's so clean that it's just adhering.
Well, yeah, that's kind of a problem. I don't want to rip it. But anyways, this one's much bigger. So the idea was this one is white-ish, and this would be fine as, like, a table covering. Now, oh, God, I thought I ripped it there. Now I have to get it fixed, or it's going to bother the hell out of me. Another option is to get an ESD mat for the table. And yes, Eric, it would be if my table wasn't already ESD certified and a chemical-grade soldering table. So... Yes, and I highly recommend if you don't have an ESD table like I do, get an ESD mat, or minimally at least a wrist strap that you put into the ground of a power outlet.
Yeah, do you have this table grounded?
Yeah. It's got a plug where you ground the table itself. But inside of the table, it's actually got a steel sheet inside of the table that everything grounds to.
But what's on the top of? Like, is it just a steel tabletop, or what's the tabletop?
No, it's a special melamine vinyl thing that is static safe.
Okay.
I've almost got it. We're almost there.
You got a good deal on that jump pack
Okay,
thing.
so the jump pack was the other thing I was going to talk about, because that so far... God, this is ridiculous. All right, it's done. Got it. This thing's pretty
There
big,
you go.
right?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
That'll cover the majority
It's
of
like
the table.
a baby mat.
That's actually
thing.
exactly what it is. It was for kitchens, but it solves the exact same purpose, which is what I need to do. If you vinyl wrap the surface, you will insulate the top and lose the ESD protection. Yeah, he's totally right. So I'll probably just kind of sand it down a little bit. But yeah, the table's got ground points for humans, both for your ankles and for your wrist, and it shows you dedicated grounds. So it's a pretty cool table. Get a surface resistant meter and check your surfaces. I could, but realistically, I don't think we're going to be doing any like high value soldering on the table where I don't also have the things that are holding the boards grounded. So, this was a surplus that I got from a buddy. He worked for a company that made laser mass spectrometers, and they changed out their tables because they were tired of getting them recertified every year. So they got new tables that had 5-year certifications. So they just threw them all out, and he got 5 of them. When he moved across the state, I got one of them, and it's actually I haven't had a use for it for years, and now finally I do. So I am very, very excited. But yeah, I do have to. I cleaned out all the threads on it, so the new ground points work good. Hey Jay, how you doing? He says, hope everyone is doing good. Other than it's a little toasty for 2 of the 3 people here, and it is not me, the one that is toasty. It is. Ironically, Florida is the coolest person on this podcast. Yeah, that's right. I'm the coolest person on this podcast.
The latitudes are completely flipped.
Yes, and everything is variable. Prime Day, that battery jumper, which we thought was a good deal. Do I still have one in here? No, I gave it to Amber because Amber didn't charge hers, and I had mine charged. So my brother has lab equipment to test battery banks and batteries and things like that at his day job. And it says it's 21,400 milliamp hours, and this first discharge, he got a little over 10,000 on it. And it doesn't weigh like a 20,000 milliamp hour battery would weigh. So,
well, that depends on the inverters and stuff in it too.
Well,
or like on the DC to DC converter. I mean,
you can read it right off of where it jumps the car, which doesn't have DC to DC converters. That is literally a direct connection to the battery.
Yeah.
So, and he uses like an
4S battery
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 4S battery or something, and then it dives down. But this one we bought specifically because it's USB-C in and out, so you can charge phones with it. It's got DC jack out, which goes up to 12 volts. It might do 18. So it's got a boost converter in there, so I can charge laptops, cameras, whatever I want. And then it had a PD as well, so it had USB power delivery. Now, do any of those work? No clue. But if we can prove the battery's not the right size, we'll reach out to the company and be like, hey, what's going on?
Just crack it open.
No, the last time I did that, I threw a battery out of my house because I accidentally punctured it.
I have something similar. I need to charge it, actually. That reminded me. I should charge it. It sits in my trunk, and if I need it, I get it. But
so that's where mine used to sit, too, and I would charge it once a month. And then it started to swell. So now it is in a fire bag awaiting disposal.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I did like that, the pack that I had. But, you know, it's not worth risking a fire in the trunk of my car over $50.
Yeah.
So let me see what else.
That thing will not start a 6.5 liter engine, though. No chance. What have I jumped? I have jumped a diesel with my old pack. Now, this was back before they had any of this real safety. The pack that I used just had really big diodes as a way to keep you from backfeeding the bank. And it did jump. It jumped a 12-volt diesel. Now, a diesel that large would likely be 24 volts. Or not 24 volts, but 2-battery diesel. Yeah. So, Julia bought some stuff for her guinea pigs. And if you guys were hanging out with us 2 weeks ago on the live stream, we made some parts for the guinea pigs. I bought some webcams at a crazy good deal. It had a apparently CRAZY crazy coupon for it, and I guess what I'll do is, I almost posted the wrong one in the chat.
Don't do that.
Let me see which one. Okay, yeah, give me just a second. I gotta post the right one in the chat. If I post the wrong one in the chat, that's not gonna be great. Oh no, this is the right one. Well, that's weird. Okay, whatever. This is the right one, but it says it's restricted. Oh no, anyone on the internet can view this link. Okay, cool. All right, I will put it in the chat for people so you guys can see what we picked up for Prime Day. Yeah, let's see. I got some webcams at a crazy good deal. Gonna use those for filming. And I got the resin flex plates, which I have had in my cart for a long time. They were $30. They went down to 24. I'm like, I'll see what Prime Day does. They went down to 20, and I had a $10 Amazon Prime promo credit, so I got them for $10.29, which I am really excited to try those out because on these bigger printers, the plates, it can take so much force to separate it that it can be problematic. But yeah, the car jumper is one we're still kind of iffy on. The NVIDIA Shield, Alan got an NVIDIA Shield. Alan is our resident cricketer. He has been circuiteer. Grant.
Circuit.
Holy crap!
I knew what you meant.
I've been word salad all day today. It's been a day, but yeah, Alan got an NVIDIA Shield for $125, which is a good price for those. Those are really nice.
I like my Fire Sticks that are $15 on Prime Day normally.
Yeah,
or 25.
I was gonna get some, but like I never use them. I use Chromecast because I have an Android phone, and Chromecast is amazing. I can Chromecast literally anything.
The one thing I don't love about the Chromecast is that there is no remote for it.
The new one there
that's
is.
true.
The new one does. I had one of the
Like,
original.
why do I want another
Google-
remote? What remote do I need?
Well, I only use that remote.
Like, what remote do I need, though, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I send it from my phone, right? And my phone will be, whatever it needs to be, right?
Yeah. The reason I think was that I didn't like the Chromecast with this TV is that this TV doesn't support the control over HDMI. So
mine
the Chromecast
doesn't either, but
couldn't turn it on and off.
You turn the TV on. So,
Like one remote for everything. So I don't have to have. I don't mind. I like the Fire Sticks. They're not bad.
No, Fire Sticks
I
aren't
just don't love all
bad.
the ads on them.
Especially
That's the one thing.
when you used to be able to load Cody onto them and stream gray area legal material. But like we
do that
cut the
with a
cord
pie.
years ago.
Yar.
Huh? Yar? Is that what we're saying?
Yar.
And apparently Josephine's boyfriend decided to get a whole new computer effectively. So CPU, motherboard, monitor. And so it is, what is that, like $375? Sorry, $475. She paid $448.65 because it came as a bundle deal. Got an Xbox wireless controller because the dog chewed it. So the Life Straws was something that I was thinking of getting but opted not to. They're good to have. I just throw a case of water in the back of my car and just don't care. Or like a few bottles of water.
I got those last year. My dad and I both got like the two packs, and we're like, if we ever need it.
Yeah, it's like one of those. What the hell? You throw it in a go bag and you get to play prepper for a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, and they end up being really cheap. Like this was actually more expensive than what I paid. I think they were $10 for 2-pack normally, like on a couple of years ago on Prime Day.
They were always $10 a piece, but
I thought so too.
Andrew got some fancy keyboard from Drop.com, but it's some Prime Week promotional event. Justin got SD cards, which that's a good price for those. We got some prior to Prime Day from Silicon Power, which is not Silicone Power, Silicon Power. Yeah, you printed one. We have our other one. I love this SD card holder. God, it's so good.
It's really satisfying, that screw.
It is. But we actually got the SD cards to put in our Wise cams so that they're not high endurance cards, but they were 32 gigs for $10. So
that was just about the same price as this.
Yeah, so like, and that's normal price. So if they do fail, it's like, oh, what the hell, I don't care. And if they last 1 year, we'll be good. If they last less than 1 year, it would have been cheaper for us to buy the Wise monitoring thing. So we're seeing how that works. And Justin, you got an Echo Auto for $15 down from 50. And it's no surprise that Amazon was making their own personal stuff to be nice and cheap. Nadav's Echo Auto, just use your phone.
So the reason I got it is because my car doesn't have Bluetooth. So, and all the other Bluetooth receivers, you have to remember to turn them on and off, and like it just becomes more of a pain than plugging your phone in.
First world problems I'm hearing.
Yeah, true. Well, because I can't plug my phone in and listen to music. iPhone problems. And and it's like one of the better Bluetooth receivers that I've used.
Justin, look at that. Does that make you mad? Does that 3.5 millimeter headphone jack make you mad? Because
you didn't have courage, Grant. You didn't have courage.
Huh?
To get rid of it.
No.
That was the advertising that said, like when they announced it was like we had courage to remove it.
Yeah, here's your courage, Apple.
Physical connections are always good because then if your batteries die, you can plug in. Bluetooth things aren't the best.
So my car doesn't have aux in like Justin's does, but all Justin has to do is get a Bluetooth audio receiver, which are like $10-15. That's what I used to do. when I had when I was using, where is it? This phone. This is a Lee Echo LE Pro 3. Don't look them up. They don't exist, but it's a China phone. It does not have a headphone jack, so I used a Bluetooth audio receiver into the tape deck adapter for my car, and that's how I would listen. But like, I don't listen to music. It was always podcasts for me, so I listen to a lot of podcasts while I drive. We got something from Butcher Bailey asking, what is a good laptop starting out? And to
That's
me,
a can of worms.
there are so many more questions that I need to ask there, because what are your use cases for it?
And budget and operating system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you like a Mac? I mean, then you're limited real tight there. Or if you like Windows, there's a lot of options depending on budget and like where the money should be going, like a better screen, or if it needs better processing power or battery life or whatnot. It's all there's a bunch of different variables to that.
Justin, there was a time when playing music from a phone weren't a thing. It's true. And then we use tape deck adapters, 3.5mm plugs. That's what I have in my car right now from our CD Walkmans.
But my car has a 10 disc changer in it.
Yeah. Oh, that's fancy. Is it in the trunk?
No, it's in the dash
It's
actually.
in the dash. Wow. So like some of the older cars would have CD changers in the trunk.
Yep.
Which is like so dumb to me. I
Yeah.
think I have a 6 CD changer. It might be a single CD changer. I have no idea if it works. I don't have any CDs.
I don't think I could use a tape deck adapter in my car actually because of the way the tapes would go in. They go in
Sideways.
like
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, they go in vertically, not sideways.
What?
It goes in really weird.
The tape
Yeah.
goes in like this rather than like this?
No, it goes in like this, but like it
Yeah,
slots
that's how
in like
mine
at a
does.
really weird angle.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's fine. The cable comes out of the end or the middle or the other end. You can put the cable wherever you want.
Yeah.
And on my car, I have the radio turned off. But as soon as you push in the tape player thingy, it turns on and goes instantly to tape. So to turn off the radio, all I do is I hit the eject button and it turns everything off. But Echo, I've never tried the Echo Auto, and clearly Amazon is working on bringing Wi-Fi to the masses with their, their sidewalk or street.
Turn it off if you have any Echo
turn it off
devices.
if you have any Echo devices, turn off, because what they're doing is they're allowing your Wi-Fi to be used by anybody.
And you have to opt out of it, right?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
auto
it's
opt-in.
Yeah, the other thing is it uses the 915 megahertz band, which lets it go even farther than your Wi-Fi. So it's not sharing your Wi-Fi, it's letting all of their devices talk to all of your neighbors and share
Without your consent.
without your consent. So yeah, turn it off if you have any Echo device, any Fire device, anything. That's Amazon.
None of my Amazon products are plugged in. Now, I do have a smart clock in my bedroom. That's a Google smart clock, and I love being able to yell at it to turn on the lights, turn off the lights. It is pretty great.
It is really cool. Like I have the little dot I got, I think it was like $1 or whatever.
Yeah,
They go on sale super cheap. I use it to control my TV completely. I don't even have to touch the remote anymore. So I can be like, and I changed mine to be computer. So I'm like Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I just found that I can clear all notifications with a swipe on my phone, and I was not planning on doing that.
You didn't know that?
Wait.
No. I had so many notifications that I needed to deal with. Now I have to go back and find them. There's like 3 different Facebook conversations of designers and a friend. And anyways, I was trying to pull. Oh, I was trying to pull up the fact that I can just say, squeeze my phone because it's a squeeze phone. Turn off office lights. It's great. And now I look terrible. Office lights on.
But you have the power.
I do have the power. It's pretty great.
I never did smart light bulbs because it's like mine's on a fan and stuff, and that's the one I'd have to pull out the fan to do like to switch out like the box
fair.
that's in there. So I'm like, I just never.
We just dropped a bunch of frames. Sorry about that. We just dropped a bunch of frames. Now, for some reason, my internet just crashed real quick, but we're good.
Yeah.
Dropped 67 frames, so 2 seconds of footage. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like having Amazon products in my car, so I go the old school route. But like, I've been listening to Darknet Diaries lately, so if anyone likes, the idea of hacking, penetration testing, and hearing from some of the best and brightest in that industry, Darknet Diaries is an awesome podcast. But of course, we'd be remiss without mentioning the Making Awesome podcast, of which you are currently listening to. So, hey, thanks for that. Make sure if you are listening to us audio only that you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. If you are watching live on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, leave us a like as well. And if you are listening audio only, you are missing this thing live. You could be listening to us every single weekend, sometimes Saturday, sometimes Sunday. I don't know. It just kind of whenever. And of course, this is episode 42, our Hitchhikers episode. And Simona did give us questions, but I have completely ignored them because I totally forgot.
Okay.
She asked, what is the significance of the number 42?
Yes.
Everything.
The answer is yes. Next question. What are you doing to honor the 42nd podcast episode?
The time lapse coming up this week.
There it is. I can see that you're in it, so I can see that you can see it. Yes, we are doing a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy time lapse. Funny enough, it is not the one that is running behind me currently. It'll be running after this. This is a cosplay part for my girlfriend's sister. That will probably be the Thursday time lapse. It's a, I want to say it's, oh, I got it. It is the Red Hood Outlaw inspired mask from Thingiverse, but we will just throw it up on the time lapse. So we haven't done a time lapse this big in a while, so I said, oh, what the hey, let's do it. But yeah,
we gotta figure out the model for Tuesday.
Huh?
We gotta decide on the model for Tuesday.
Yes, we do. We do have to decide on the model for Tuesday, but we've got like quite a few hours left. Don't worry, you have plenty of time. All right, so what is the weirdest, most random thing that you've bought on Amazon? So now we're moving over to more Prime Day questions. That you can say on this podcast, gentlemen.
I'm saying in general. I'm trying to think if it was Prime Day or like just in general. I don't know what I.
No, just in general. This question seems
let's
to be more general.
Go back through my order history and see what we can find here.
I know what mine is, so I'll say mine. So Amber and I have kind of like a policy when it comes to spending money on each other. And the deal is if it's less than $10 and you think the other person is going to smile, you just buy it. You just buy it. You don't care. You just buy it. And right. I bought her one of those battery-powered, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. Because it is hilarious.
A little mini one?
Huh?
Like a little mini one?
I did, and I also bought one for Tad.
I have it. I have it somewhere.
I'm like,
in my
Tad would
office.
enjoy this. I'm buying it for Tad, too.
It's so funny.
It is hilarious, yeah. And it can be DC-powered or a 9-volt. So yeah, that would be probably one of my weirdest or most random things. Most useful, I would say, would have been a dash cam or 3D printers, I guess, would be useful too. But dash cams, if you don't have one, get one. What did you buy that you're going to regret purchasing later? Probably that Photon Mono X, but I did get it for $530, which is a phenomenal deal for it, so no big deal. And if money was no object, what is the number one item that you would have bought?
What's the most expensive thing you could buy on Amazon?
My instinct said a CR30, because I was looking at the CR30, and they were like $900. But I'm like, I don't really... Like, if I'm going to have a regret of not buying something, it's not going to be a Creality product.
I've got one.
Oh, what?
The $1,700 Toto washlet toilet.
Tad,
it is.
I don't want to know what a $1,700 toilet does for you, but I'm just proud of the fact that you've wanted to buy a $1,700 toilet.
I'm a homeowner now. I gotta think of these things.
Okay, so Butcher Bailey gave us to Windows budget $500 to $1,500, for Fusion 360 to model Swiss firearms and other mechanical equipment non-firearms related using a frozen Sonic Mighty resin printer. First off, I can't exactly poo-poo people on 3D printing guns. Just don't be an idiot with it. Please, please, please,
yeah,
please,
for the love of God.
Don't be stupid. If you are going to make a functional firearm and you are going to 3D print it, for the love of Christ, do not test it by hand. Put it in a vise. Also, understand your laws. understand the Undetectable Firearms Act of 1986. Understand what that means. And understand that if you 3D print a firearm and do not put enough metal in it, you have committed a federal crime. So don't do it. Don't be an idiot. It's why we basically don't talk about them on this channel, because it is so incredibly stupid. Like, yes, it's absolutely possible, but it is so stupid, and the likelihood of you hurting yourself is considerably higher than just going out and doing it the real way. Anyways, diatribe over. So, Butcher, I would say for you, something that is Ryzen powered, 100%. You want, because Fusion 360 is CPU bound. It is not GPU bound. So CPU bound, that maybe has like integrated graphics would be plenty fine.
The Ryzen APUs are pretty great.
Huh?
Like the Ryzen APUs are the ones with their integrated, like they don't have integrated graphics unless they're considered an APU. But yeah, that all of their all the new Ryzen processors are great.
So I bought a couple of laptops for the company at the end of the year, and they are 4700 U's, I think, and they've got Vega 7 or Vega 8 graphics, Vega 9 maybe, I don't know, and they are powerhouses for Fusion 360, absolute monsters for Fusion 360.
They're much faster than my desktop. Yeah,
I paid $450 or something like that for them. They were really cheap. I definitely love Ryzen processors. Fusion is CPU bound. Not going to use the 3D printed parts. Going to use it to mock up then CNC. Beautiful. Thank you for understanding that. But also make sure you have a federal firearms license if you are going to be utilizing a CNC machine for anything else, if you plan on serializing them. Dell makes good machines. I've actually been pretty happy with the HP machine that I have. So it's HP.
They're all very similar now.
Yeah, they're all kind of there. I will say LTT just put out a video about RAM, and how RAM is actually becoming one of the limiting factors for gaming. That companies are going to cheaper styles of RAM that are 16 versus 8. It has to do with chip density. And apparently that can cause well over 10% reduction in performance. So machines that can upgrade your RAM, do not buy machines with soldered RAM, I don't think. I think you want to buy machines with upgradable RAM. That way you can
Unless
buy
it's like a netbook, like super thin something. That's the only reason why you're going to be needing that.
Even my laptop, it's pretty thin.
Yeah, I mean,
I did buy a touchscreen for it, or I opted for the optional touchscreen. It was $50, and I'm like, I might use
touchscreens are great on laptops.
It's not a 2-in-1. It's not a convertible.
But it's so much better. I especially if you're not using like a actual mouse and you're using the trackpad to scroll, just going and flicking it just because you're so used to it from your phone. Except if it's not that much more expensive, just get it.
Other than fingerprints, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And like my brother says, you get it with the lowest RAM spec you can, as long as the RAM is non-soldered, and you just upgrade the RAM. And with a 256 gig SSD, you can also upgrade that SSD. You don't need
Make sure it's upgradable.
Yeah, make sure it's all upgradable. You don't want machines with soldered SSDs, soldered RAM. You don't want any of that, because over time, RAM and storage are going to be the two things that you look at updating. A Ryzen 5 5500U is a very comparable processor and will be just fine for a computer. So, but yeah, $500 redos, I mean, that is not bad. It's not a great deal, I'm sure, as the chip shortages get a little bit more reasonable. We'll see laptop prices come down a little bit, but I would think in current times, $500, that's
a great deal.
Yeah, that's a very, very good deal.
I mean, and if like they do even have like the 16 gig option or the 512 SSD option, and it's maybe like 600, 650, and you don't want to deal with having to open up a laptop, because sometimes laptops are a pain in the ass to do certain upgrades to. It shouldn't be that bad, but I mean, I have an Inspiron somewhere, and the back literally is 2 screws and pops right off. And to RAM and SSD, like it originally had a spinning hard drive. Mine, it's 6 years old, 7 years old now, and I put an SSD in it, and that's probably the easiest upgrades you can do. But if you don't want to be opening up your new computer, upgrade it if it's 100, 150 bucks for certain things, and that's what I would go for. The Inspron frames do suck though. After a few years, they end up breaking. My hinges snapped out of the case.
I know that they've gotten better.
Yeah, I mean, mine's 6 or 7 years old now.
But like laptops currently are not designed to last that long either, right? Laptops are having a 4 to 5 year lifespan at best.
Yeah.
Mind you, previous to this laptop, my daily driver laptop, like when I was out at meetings, was a Chromebook. And I used Chrome Remote Desktop to take control of the computer that I'm currently on, which was built in 2014, which is a 4700K, 32 gigs of RAM, and a 1080 Ti. Back then it was 770, but upgraded to 1080 Ti a little bit ago. John is sending me some laptops to send over, so I will send you links in just a second. So here are the two for you. Butcher Bailey. This is one that John said, and this is the other one. And
John is Tars Man, by the way.
Huh?
If I don't know if Butcher Bailey's watched before, but John is Tars Man.
Yeah, my brother is Tars Man here. So, yeah, John has been on our podcast a few times. So, John is normally the fill-in when we don't have a third.
Yeah.
But no. Yeah. So, anyways, computers are a thing. Oh, John says First Link is better. Okay, First Link is better. I think the staff got pretty good deals overall.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good deal. $700.
Oh, I missed the headphones. Andrew bought $100 headphones. Good Lord, have mercy. Why? JBL. Whatever, man. I firmly believe in having nice, beautiful, open back headphones, preferably from the greatest headphone manufacturer, Sennheiser.
Well, not anymore.
What?
They sold off their whole headphone line.
Did they really?
Oh, really?
Yep, they will not be manufacturing headphones anymore.
Who'd they sell it to?
Some medical company or something.
What?
And they somehow allowed for the name to be continued to be used, so.
Oh, that's shifty.
And then not be great. Here, I'll find it. LTT had it on their podcast.
I don't like that at all.
No.
These are 5.8. These are 518s, right? Yeah, HD 518s. These are cheap. Cheap. But Amber actually just got SHP 9500s from Philips for like $60, and those are great headphones for the money. And unlike Sennheiser's, these have a like special clip on them, like to the jack for the wires. The HD, the SHP 9500s from Philips are just a 3.5 millimeter jack, so you could put an inline microphone if you want.
I have these. These aren't bad. The
I
KRK.
just don't like wireless. And I guess I'm in a black shirt.
But
so
no, these aren't wireless. I just disconnected the wire from it.
Although I do think I am going to, I think I'm going to do a thing where I like hang the wire from up here and it's on some sort of a tether, because I end up rolling over the wire and hitting it more often than I prefer to admit. So I want to do something so I don't trip over the wires.
You know the studio monitors with the yellow drivers?
Yes. KR Rockets, right?
Yeah, KRK. That's this brand.
Rocket. Yep.
And I mean, they're a very, very flat sound profile. Like they're monitors, so they're not bad for, especially like when I'm editing. It's like it gives you like the exact what it sounds like pretty much when it comes out of your microphone. So I just don't love wearing headphones like talking, because then you hear yourself way more and it gets, especially they're not open back.
Oh, Grant, you need one of those like overhead cable booms.
Right. And I think I might build one and use a
like the VR stuff that they do.
Yeah,
you can walk around your office with your headphones on still,
because that way you don't trip over it. Yeah.
I'm guaranteed to like trip and fall anyways, right? Just because of the back, I have an issue walking. But like with this, it's just like adding a minefield to a minefield. Just totally unnecessary. So, and like it's a quality of life thing. I could just put down my headphones when I get up and use a shorter cable, but nah. Yeah, Prime Day. I think Prime Day was good. I didn't get There were some things that I was supposed to buy, but I didn't get. I was looking at getting some wheels, some casters for our table, but I found out that the casters are 9/16 inch threaded, and it's coarse threaded, which you can't get casters in that size that are cheap. So I ended up getting the woodworking casters that you screw to the side of the legs, and when you push down on it, it basically pops up on some wheels, and then you tow up, and the wheels, drop away, and it goes back down onto its legs. So I think that's probably the best solution for what we're doing, where I need a table to be somewhat mobile, but I want it to be sturdy when I need it to be sturdy. So, and that's because the table that we're using for our standing set is 6 feet long, and the space that I have to move in there is about 7 feet. And so I need to be able to move the table out of the way when I need to, work in the garage. But the table weighs like 130 pounds, and I can't move it on my own unless it's on wheels. So, problem, attempt to solution. I went to Harbor Freight, Rural King, and Home Depot. Could not find a solution. Ended up coming upon these these step down casters. That's going to be the solution, and that's what we're going to be using. So, for the last year, I've been using the MPOW T1 gaming headset from Nadav. I have loved MPOW products personally. I use their headset every day, their Jaws, the MPOW Jaws. I use it every single day. It's a hideable headset. It's wired, so I can just grab the wire, pull it out. About like 18 hours of battery life, and it vibrates, which is really nice. So I don't have to keep the earbuds in. If I get a phone call, my collarbone will vibrate, and I can feel it and grab the bud. It's like if your phone is on silent or on vibrate, or I don't have my watch with me, the headset will alert me. So like if I think I'm getting a call, I will press down on my collarbone, and I'll see if I can feel the thing vibrating. And if I do, I can pull it out, click the button, and
it's pretty handy.
The call. And like that makes sense to me. And because the wire is so thin, it will generally basically ride along.
I couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
I when you're looking straight towards the camera.
Yeah.
Not see it.
I've done many videos where it's in, and because you can hide the rest of it under your shirt, all you really see is just that one little cable, and that's not that big of a deal, right? And unlike Bluetooth,
Secret Service agent,
Bluetooth headsets. So if I have a Bluetooth headset, if I put them on and then I put my headphones on over it, the Bluetooth doesn't work anymore because of all the metal in those buds. And I will say, get Complete tips for any in-ear earbuds. The foam Complete tips, they're so much nicer. Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I was looking for on Prime, but didn't find any good deal on those foam tips.
Dude, they're like $10 for 3 sets of all sizes. That's what I've always used. I can go back into my Amazon and send you some if you want, but yeah, I don't like the silicone tips. I mean, they certainly seal a whole lot better than the Compleys do, but they hurt over time. The Compley is like an earplug where it's that soft, squishy material, so it doesn't hurt. I can leave these in for 8 to 10 hours, and it doesn't hurt. Now, you shouldn't leave them in that long. Your ear canal needs to breathe. But if you need to be on a phone call for a long time, your ear is not going to be sore afterwards, and that is such a big deal for me. And of course, I did things that audio-only listeners will not understand, so that's why you should watch us live on YouTube, and the fact that you don't have to wait 4 or 5 days to get it. So the audio-only version goes out Thursday or Friday if I forget to send it out on Thursday. And of course, we record this live on YouTube every single weekend. So episode 42, I'm glad that we've gotten here. I'm going to be excited in 10 weeks for the 1-year special.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make a
It's hard to believe already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a year. Actually, 5 weeks will be... Well, never mind. I'm not going to talk about what 5 weeks will be. 5 weeks will be a year since I've been off of work, or out of work, I guess would be more specific because of my back. But anyways... We didn't do as many Hitchhikers references as I was hoping for, unfortunately. That's okay.
It's okay.
There were some more questions about the slicers for Matter Control in there, but we know Matter Control is truly open source because of their GitHub page. What are your thoughts on Simplify 3D's community practices such as turning off replies on Twitter so people can't ask about version 5.0? Justin, how do you feel about that? Ooh, he's very quiet. Very, very quiet.
It's just no.
It's shitty.
No.
It's real shitty.
No.
It's not what you're supposed to do.
Like,
No.
and I said this in the episode for Simplify 3D, which you guys can go find it if you want. But yeah, $150 for a software that hasn't been updated in 2.5 years is garbage. Absolute garbage, and under no circumstances should be allowable.
It's there's no reason to pay for a slicer with the hobby level machines anymore.
There isn't. With Cura, Prusa Slicer, even mattercontrol. Yeah. Simplify 3D, the only thing it is better at than all these other slicers still to this day, support generation. Its support generation algorithm is awesome. And yes, you can get 14 days to try it and then get your money back, but they don't even offer you a 14-day download. You must pay for it up front. And then if you don't like it, you can refund your money.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like their software. I don't like their community practice. Maybe you guys should just get version 5 out instead of removing the ability for people to reply on Twitter. Like, hello? That would be like the president not allowing people to reply to them on Twitter. Oh.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. But it's like, if you're not going to update for 2.5 years and everybody else is leaving you in the dust, why are you valuable?
I think the only time paying for a slicer is in pro level machines. Nothing that's behind you, nothing that I have, nothing that Tad has. It's when you're gonna be doing it with metal, with the MJF, with
Nope. No, you don't pay for slicers for that because it comes with the machine.
It comes with it. That's what I mean. It's when you're having it's baked into the price of the machine, or
that's what they do. They bake it into the price of the machine. Like our full color sandstone printer has its own dedicated slicer. It is 32-bit.
Yeah.
If you give it a file size larger than 512 megabytes, it just crashes. If your entire file size is over 1 gigabyte, it just crashes.
Love it.
And it uses 256 megabytes of video memory, period. So if you go over 256 megabytes of video memory, it just starts truncating your designs. Now, that's only for visual. For the print, it's still full size, but now you can't see your designs anymore. When you're dealing with a full color printer, it kind of matters.
It does, just a little bit.
The slicer for the sandstone printers is egregiously terrible. And I hear that is pretty common on a lot of these high-end machines, is that their slicers are trash. They work, but they're trash. And a video that I've really wanted to make, and we just haven't gotten it done yet, is SLM. They did their free float metal 3D printing. So it's metal 3D printing without support material. And I laugh because the image that they use on their website clearly has support material on it.
I think it needs something from the bed, I think is what that support is, to connect it to the bed.
It needs way less than what you would normally need. But don't tell me it's support free and then show me support. It's a branding and verbiage thing, right? You gotta get it right. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Out of all the slicers,
it did look really cool though.
It did look cool, but I can't afford it. Out of all the slicers we've covered so far, which one are you least likely to recommend?
Simplify 3D.
Yeah, Tad, what is your least favorite slicer? Well, I don't think you have much experience outside of Cura.
I mean, I've used Simplify, and it's definitely not my favorite compared to Prusa Slicer. I used to play a lot with Cura in a 3D printing lab environment. That wasn't the best either, though I know you can do more with it.
It's gotten so much better.
But that was also a while ago.
Sucked.
Yeah.
Now the new ones are.
Of Cura, even Eric will tell you, older versions of Cura weren't perfect. And they're still not perfect, but they're getting considerably better. For me, it's a tie. It's a tie. So if Simplify 3D was not paid, they would not even be on this list. They would be one that I would recommend Simplify 3D if it was free.
If it was free, yes, but there's no reason. There's no reason to pay $150 for it.
There is not.
Go buy an Ender 3 with that money.
Exactly.
If you're a hobbyist, go buy an Ender 3.
Stefan.
The slicer shouldn't be the most expensive part.
Oh, I'm gonna do Stefan W. He says, "Hi, please say hello to me. Hi, we are noticing you."
We've said hello.
Yes, he said hello, so I also said hello. Peter sent me something. Oh, he sent me a resistance meter. Cool! I'm gonna buy one. So excited. So excited.
Your multimeter might be able to do it.
My multimeter's trash. I am not. I'm just, for $20, I'm gonna buy one from AliExpress because you can always trust things you buy off of AliExpress.
Of course, for them to be accurate, and of course.
I want to check for that AliExpress. You don't even watch my videos, but I want to check for that shit. Yes, so hi, Stefan or Steven or Stefan Weinzarl. I'm gonna, no, this is clearly
Right back,
German.
the dog is crying.
Oh, the dog's crying.
Going.
It's hilarious because I'm not used to Tad having a standing desk, and he just like walks away, and it makes it look like Tad has tiny legs. I love it.
He looks like he's 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall.
I wish I could do a standing desk, but I'd rather have industrial shelving instead of a standing desk, so I chose my battles wisely. But yeah, for me it's a tie between matter control and simplify 3D, and it's literally for two egregious reasons. Matter control for the auto opt-in, and simplify 3D because of its pay. And I think if we solve both of those problems, the one that I don't recommend then becomes Idea Maker.
Yeah, I want to do some more digging on that matter control issue and look through their code. Their GitHub was a little messy, but it's fine.
And the reason I can't love Idea Maker is that it's not easy to use. It is easy to use if you have a raised 3D printer. If you have a raised 3D printer, use it. I think it's a great slicer. But if you have any other machine, you have to go to their website and download some community-made profile, and it may not be great, and this, that,
We need
other.
to check the beta version of it.
Jay says, so they never made a Cricut Maker 2, saw them Maker 3 yesterday in store, but they just skipped to 3. Yes, they did. That is correct. They skipped to the 3. They wanted their nomenclature naming scheme to be correct. And I don't blame them. I would have done the exact same thing. But, Jay, I'm going to come out with a video hopefully the next couple of weeks on this. The smart materials are fake! They are fake, they're fake, they're fake, they're fake, they're fake. There's nothing smart about them. Auntie Tay proved this, and I want to tell our viewers as well, it is fake, it is fake, it is fake, it is fake.
You need to play that clip from the one Star Trek episode. It's a fake!
It's a fake! Yes. You just need to get vinyl in the right size, which sucks because smart materials are 13-inch wide on the Maker 3 and the Explorer 3, which are not a standard size for vinyl. So if you buy a 24-inch, you cut it down to 13, you have 13 and 11. You get a whole part of a roll that is smart materials that you don't need a mat for. So I bought a bunch of smart materials. I've got some Oracal and some other vinyl as well, and we were gonna do a video showing it off. I don't have it. I'm not gonna spend $300 on a friggin' Cricut for a video, but there's gonna be some cool news coming out of the laser cutting community regarding the cutters, and I am trying to get the approval to be the first person to talk about it. So I am really cool. Yes, it is. Heather said there. The smart materials are a lie just to buy their overpriced, not usable materials. Preach it to the heavens!
Absolutely.
Yeah, no. Cricut, no. That's no negative for me, Ghost Rider. And with what I know right now, I'm going to totally start recommending Cricuts again. And it's because if you can use fake smart materials that don't cost you any extra, now you can move fast, viably. Hopefully it's, still accurate. Has it been tried for longer than 24 inches on a new machine? I do not know. Allison asked that. I don't know, and it's why I want to get a machine, but I have no valid use to own one, and I outsource all my vinyl cutting to a guy with a 54-inch wide cutter. There's no reason for me to have one of my own. I mean, I guess we could do, bumper stickers and crap. I don't know, man. I'm sure Justin's like, you could get heat transfer vinyl and make your own t-shirts. You're right, I could, but I don't want to. Vinyl cutting. For a second, I was thinking there would be some smart 3D printing filament controversy I haven't heard of. That's what Red/Ace, aka Peter Sassman, said. No, Peter, it's not DRM controlled with like NFC tags or RFID tags. No, they literally just made it a very specific custom size and said, screw you, you can't get it in this size. But yes, I agree with Allison. We do need to know if it can go longer. Heather says cricketeer here, which I like that. I should call our cutting community cricketeers. Love my machines, hate their materials and their software. Yep. And maybe soon you didn't hear it here first, but you definitely heard it here first. There's a company that has actively cracked it. Crickets can be ran from software. Unfortunately, the software is paid, but it is the easiest paid software that I purchase every single year. I've used this software for like 3 or 4 years now, and I love it to sin. It's $30 a year, plus I think it was $80 to purchase it. Easy, 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 beautiful cover girl. Buy that software, and it's going to effectively open source these cutters. And I am very excited. I'm hoping that we can get the approval to really be the YouTube channel that launches it, because I would think out of most YouTube channels, we have the most crossover. So that's my thought. But yeah, anything else, guys, before we wrap this one up? Tad?
It's hot. I think it's probably reached 90 degrees by now inside my house. So
yuck. I'm so sorry.
At least I've got airflow.
The comment that was just put up. I missed, what is the software? Mitch, I don't want to say it because I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet. But there is a software coming out that will convert. Anyways, it's going to be a thing. It's really cool. AE says, Sir Cuts-A-Lot drove Cricket years ago. Cricket sued them to stop it. That is correct. Sir Cuts-A-Lot now is for US Cutter and Vevor, and it is phenomenal software. Jay says, my Ender 5 Plus was supposed to come today till they called and said they didn't have my full address. Freaking rip. I'm sorry, Jay.
Really?
That's no fun. But yeah, Mitch, I'm pretty sure you are who I think you are. If you're the Mitch that is that hangs out in Peter Sassaman's Discord, just ping me and I'll tell you. I don't mind if it's like private to people that I know, but yeah, otherwise I'm going to be very quiet about it, because I don't want other content creators that are watching us to hit it first. I want us to be the ones that say it, because yeah, Mitch. Okay, it is the same Mitch. Yeah, Mitch, just DM me on Discord and I'll tell you who it is. Yes. Allison on the ball. Subscribe and you will soon find out. Yes. I should really just hire Allison at this point. But that's fine. We're going to have a Patreon coming soon where you guys will be able to interact with us on a much more personal level, where we're going to let you access into our actual company Discord. We're just not going to let you see any of the fancy company stuff that we talk about, which means my entire staff is going to mute those channels, which sucks, and I am going to yell at them when they do that. Because they will be required to communicate with the other people, because we are getting paid to do it. Anyways, yeah, Mitch, it's a thing. I'm very excited. But anyways, it's been 2 hours, so I say, I don't know, maybe we wrap this thing up. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
And yes, I know who Mitch is, and yes, Mitch has actually been on BattleBots, which is really cool.
That's cool.
I didn't hear that. What'd you say? It literally doesn't pick up when you whisper into your microphone.
Can't hear him at all now.
I can't hear you at all.
What did you do?
We can't even hear Justin anymore. Rip. Oh, I'm getting the 1 minute. The 1 minute finger. Thank you for being subscribed, Heather. John says his mic is muted. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Justin probably has to unplug and replug his microphone back in. Sir, have you tried turning it on and off again?
Yeah.
It's just dead.
Oh, maybe. No, you're back. We can hear you now.
I don't know what happened.
Okay, so what did you say?
So we should get him on the podcast.
We should get Mitch on the podcast. Mitch, DM me on Discord. Let's get you on the podcast. That'd be fun. And I think Jay was the other one we wanted to get on the podcast too.
Yeah.
Right?
We just need everyone on the podcast.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it was Jay. And Jay, I wanted to thank you for the email that you sent me. The Better Three Quarters has been away at an Airbnb for the weekend. Her sister is in town, so I was gonna show it to her when she got back. So she'll be back later today. We can talk about fighting robots, right, Grant? Hell yes, we can talk about fighting robots. It's approved for cable television, which means it's approved for YouTube, I think.
Fair game.
Yeah, fair game. Yeah. Well, all right. I say we call this. It's been a bit over 2 hours. This is one of our longest live podcasts to date. Tad, thank you so much for coming out and hanging out with us. I know.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
Dude,
That's fun.
we got to get you some more projects, or maybe you got to finish your honeydew list and then start.
That's a big part of it. Yeah.
Hey, but that's part of the fun. So yeah, the 3D print we did years ago. Jeez, connect the dots. I have no idea what Jonathan is talking about.
He's trying to lead you towards something, I can tell.
I have no idea what John's trying to tell me about. I don't know anything. What happened with fighting robots years ago?
Giant fighting robot?
Yeah, did you do prints for a
Maybe, and I don't remember.
BattleBots thing?
Oh, my
whatever
God, yes! We did all the 3D printing for Megabots. The Megabots Kickstarter. We did all the 3D printing for them. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? Yeah, Megabots, where the U.S. fought Japan with, robots. Fighting robots. Yeah. That was cool. I got to talk heavily with Guy Cavalcanti, the guy that ran the whole thing. And that's how I got contacts over at Autodesk. Because it was all done in Autodesk. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, that's really it for me. Anything else, gents? All right.
Good.
Well, I'll do the normal sign out. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And as always, keep making awesome. Chapter 42, which I guess could be the answer to the universe, the life, world, and all the other things. I don't know the quote specifically off the top of my head. I think it's the life,
Close
answer
enough.
to the universe,
Everything.
life, and everything.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Take care, everyone. Stay safe out there. And if you are, religious, say some prayers for the people in Miami. And if you're not religious, donate. See you later.